No doubt you rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast. We in here. We're going to be talking about Breonna Taylor tonight. We're going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to talk about some African women, or maybe one in particular who's really keeping it 100. And we're going to talk about a lot of you's replacement for Trump. What up? What's good in the hood? Yo, how y'all doing, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's gully? It's on you all night long. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thoughts of the Week podcast. And we're going to have a good show tonight. Some of what I'll be talking about might be familiar to some of you. Some of you might not know this at all, what's going on. All right. But we're going to talk about quite a bit here. All right. So, with that being said, let's get started. All right.
You are listening to Thoughts of the Week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see here. Before we get started really quick here, for those of you who are interested in personal protection, learning how to protect yourself and your family, you guys might want to go to surviveandprotectonline.com, surviveandprotectonline.com. All right. And if you guys go to video courses, right? If you guys are into reading PDF books, if you're into reading PDFs, let me see here. You guys can check out the Survive and Protection Personal Protection Library Volume 1. All right. And you will get 50 PDF books that you can download quick and easy. All right. You guys can download it very quick and easy, 50 PDF books. of different types of personal protection, hand-to-hand Israeli hand-to-hand strategies, World War II combatives, and a lot of people I'm hearing in the personal protection realm. There's been a lot of talk about going back to learning those World War II hand-to-hand combatives or extrapolations of those. They're saying it's pretty simple to do. And so we have books, PDF, they're all PDF books. Like I said, there's 50 of them. You get, this is volume 1, you get 50 books, and some of them will have survival medicine, some of them about survival medicine, survival first aid, hand-to-hand strategies, hand-to-hand tactics, SAS, Navy SEAL, Israeli hand-to-hand strategies, and a few survival PDF books as well. So if you're into personal protection like I am, you guys might want to check that out. And $17.95. That's normally the cost of certain books. For one book, you're getting 50 of them, 50 PDFs you can download to your laptop. You could put it on a thumb drive and save it that way. Right? You put it on a thumb drive and save it. Let me see here. I'm on there. There you go. Put that on there. Save it on there and stick it in your laptop or your computer. You can download it to your tablet, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess if you have room on your phone, you can download some of these PDFs to your phone. And there was also a way to, because I've done it some years ago, so I don't know if it's changed since then or what, but there is a way that you can put PDFs, or at least it used to be, so you might want to look into it, where you could put your PDFs. If you guys have Kindles or the Kindle app on your phone, you could put that those PDFs to your Kindle app and have it with the rest of your books. So look into that if you're into personal protection. Here's the volume 1, Survive and Protect Personal Protection Library. And like I said, you just go to surviveandprotectonline.com. Go to the video courses tab. Although they're supposed to be all courses, I put that on there as well. So go to the video courses tab and you will see the Survive and Protect Personal Protection Library. All right. So check that out. Okay. Okay. Next order of things before we get started real quick. If you guys are interested, starting next year, there's going to be a Norwood Strategies Town Hall, which is exclusive content that won't be on any of the social media platforms. So I'm going to be doing some live content, and all you have to do to join in is just subscribe. All right. So you can go to norwoodstrategies.com and go all the way over here where it says join NS Town Hall. Click that and it'll bring you to this page right here. All right. And just read what it says here. And if you guys are interested, come right down here, enter your email name, email address, and click join. And then you in. All right. And it's going to be some interesting stuff. I have some good ideas in store. I'm thinking, it was 2 things I was thinking of. I wasn't sure which one I would do. It starts February 2021. And it's 6-month town halls every other month. And if you guys join, you will get that exclusive content. You'll get a link and a password. So you get the link, click on that link. It'll take you to a private page. Put in the password. You get that password also as part of your email. And once you put the password in, then you're in. And you see me live. And I'll be giving that exclusive content. And so I give you a sneak peek of what I'm probably going to do the first town hall. I'm kind of debating. It was something I thought about today I was going to do or thinking about doing for that February, but I'm not sure yet. So I'll tell you, one of the things is It's going to be one or the other. So one of the things will be 7 secrets to success. All right. And 7 secrets to success. Okay. And I think you guys will enjoy it. The other one I'm kind of debating. I don't know if I'm going to do the other one or I'm going to do the 7 secrets. I'm kind of leaning more to the 7 secrets of success, but I might change my mind. But those who join will get the emails exactly as to what exactly is going to be happening on February, whatever date in February. All right. And then I have a couple of ideas. I might have a few people in the following months, the following town halls. I might have a couple of people come in and give some information. So you're getting life and business information. All right. And then at the end of every town hall, I want to try to do a Q&A. All right. So think about that. If you're interested in that, go to norwoodstrategies.com. Come over here to the join NS Town Hall. Click that, and you'll be in there. All right. Let me do something real quick here. Let me see if I can get this situated. I got my little, whoa, that's not good. All right. Let me just make sure. Okay, we good.
I saw the uniform on. I saw the uniform on there, so I know. And when I looked through the window, I saw it was a lot of police cars, and I saw the armor car was parking on the left hand side. I'm throwing it to me to get inside.
Well,
so when I went through the window, I saw the.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Is this before the shooting or after the shooting?
They were before the shooting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear anyone identify themselves as police?
No, nobody identified themselves. I saw the uniform on. I saw the uniform on there, so I know. And when I looked through the window, I saw it was a lot of police cars, and I saw the armor car was parking on the left hand side. I'm throwing it to me to get inside.
Well,
when I went through the window, I saw the.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Is this before the shooting or after the shooting?
They were before the shooting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear anyone identify themselves as police?
No, nobody identified themselves.
Operator Harris, where is your emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody.
All right. We should be good now. All right. So, yeah, I had my plug had pulled out. I put it back in, and I guess it must have reset itself to something else. So, do I need to play the first audio back again of the first guy? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right. That was my bad because I was trying to set up this phone so I can, as my little mini monitor, so I can see what's going on. And I always turn the volume off because you'll start hearing some echoes. So what I'm gonna do is play that first audio again real quick, and then we're gonna come back to this one. All right. And it may have played, but I'm just gonna go back to it. All right. So all right, cool. All right, so check it out. So this is what I'm going to do real quick because apparently my audio switched on me. So you should be and you probably heard the audio of the this video here, but I'm just going to play it back one more time just in case it didn't get heard the first time. All right. So again, this is Sarpay or Sarpy. I forget what his first name is. Initially, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up real quick. If you so this guy is the witness, only sole witness that said from so far from what I understand, that said he heard the officers say that they announced themselves. Everybody else said, yo, they didn't hear nobody announce nothing. All right. But originally, this guy said he didn't hear anything either. Then later on, it changed. Okay. So I'm gonna play that audio again.
I saw the uniform on there, so I know. And when I looked through the window, I saw it was a lot of police cars, and I saw the armor car was parking on the left hand side. I thought it to get inside.
Well,
so when I went through the window, I saw the.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Is this before the shooting or after the shooting?
They were before the shooting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear anyone identify themselves as police?
No, nobody identified themselves.
All right. So this Sarpay guy said, look, nobody identified themselves. All right. And then, like I said, later on, they said he was the only witness out there. Okay. So with that being said, let's go to the 911 call real quick. All right. I'm just matching evidence with some evidence. All right. Just matching evidence with evidence. Okay. And maybe I'll get into Crump, but y'all need to stop believing in this dude. I already did a podcast episode about Crump and Lee Merritt already. And you might want to even look at that. So now here's the 911 call of Kenneth Walker, who was the boyfriend of Breonna Taylor. All right. Let's listen to this.
Now, operator Harris, where's the emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door inside my girlfriend.
Okay, where are you located?
I'm at 3003 Springfield Drive, apartment 4.
3003 Springfield Drive, apartment number 4.
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay, how old is your girlfriend?
She's 26. Breathe.
You said 26. Where was she shot at?
I don't know. She's on the grill right now. I don't know.
Okay. You said she's 26. Is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, she's not. Breathe.
Okay. And you said you're in apartment number 4.
Hell, oh my God, yes, hell.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Kim Walker.
You said Kurt.
Hell.
And you said she's 26?
Yes.
Okay, you said 3003 Springfield Drive, apartment number 4?
Yes.
Okay. Can you check and see where she's been shot at?
I think so. That's something going.
Okay. Is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, breathe.
Okay.
I think she's oh my God. Oh my God.
Can you get her turned over on her back? I need you to check her and see where she shot at.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta go, Mama.
Okay.
I gotta go. You back.
Kenneth, can you hear me?
You have reached the voicemail.
All right, so there you go with that. So in both of those audio clips, nothing was ever mentioned about police announcing themselves. All right. Now there was a video that I just happened to come across. I didn't even realize apparently it was in June. And the mom, Tamika, I forget the last name. I don't think it was the same name. Might have been Taylor. But the mom was being interviewed by Angela Yee and Angie Martinez. And I don't know if I know I was looking for something else and I just happened to come across it. And I thought it was a recent video like this month, but when I looked at the date on it, it said June 2020. And what the mom was saying is that from what I could remember of the video, the interview is she was saying that police had sent her, or one of the police officers sent her to the hospital because she was like, hey, I think something's going on and there might be my daughter involved. And she said the officer sent her to the hospital, but knowing all along that her daughter was in that apartment dead. And then at some point the mom was talking to detectives and she said they kind of made it seem like they was trying to insinuate that Breonna's boyfriend was the one that shot her. But then somebody had mentioned the initial officer she spoke to had told her to go to the hospital. She said that there was an officer shot too. So later on, she remembered that point and said, well, why would the officer be shot if they're kind of insinuating that Kenneth Walker has something to do with Breonna's death. And so eventually they got to the point of telling her, well, they was coming to the house for narcotics. narcotic search, so on and so forth. And so, as you guys know, that apparently the person they were supposedly looking for the warrant, is that they already had him in custody. And a lot of other questions arise from the whole situation, such as, most narcotics divisions, sometimes they sitting on the house and they're watching the activity before they even move in on it. So people were saying, well, if that's the case, they would have known that there was nothing going on to begin with. And so there's a lot of funny goings on, little funny stuff regarding this case. And like I said, there's apparently some black guy who has footage. I don't know if it's being shown or it's come out more or not, but he apparently has some footage of one of the officers, not the one that was fired, but one of the other officers saying, look, that's my bullets that went inside that apartment. And so the one who was fired, the officer that was fired, they're saying now that he's starting to wanting to tell some other stuff regarding that case. All right. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know if they're going to snuff him and take him out or not. And then the black guy, again, like I repeated earlier, he was saying that a lot of people were telling him, like, look, man, you better be careful because they'll come looking for you and kill you if you got this evidence, this footage, so on and so forth. But he was like, yo, I'm ready. And he showed his boys, they strapped up, pause. And he said he got his weapons ready. So if they ready to come kill him because he want to bring out some facts and show that they lying, then he said he's ready for them. So we're going to see what happens, see how this unfolds, if it unfolds or just gets kept quiet. All right. But I just wanted to pull those two audios out. Some of you might have already heard it, seen it, whatever, what have you. But I just wanted to give my take on it. All right. For you ladies and gents. And to say, definitely keep an eye on this case. I'm sure it's not over with as far as information that's going to be coming out. All right. I'm sure it's not over with.
Right?
Okay. Let me see something real quick here. All right. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into the next thing.
Do you know what you're listening to? You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.
Oh, how's that?
All right, so let me go into YouTube, man. I remember a while back, maybe a year or two, even maybe a little bit longer than that, there was a lot of people, and it seemed like it was a lot of black people saying this. And then they had to, sacrifice a few people. So mainly the Alex Jones. All right. Let me just check something out here. All right. So there were a lot of black people saying, YouTube is shadow banning their material, their videos, or they're canceling their stuff. Right. And because they coming out and telling some real information compared to the mainstream media. And by the way, shout out to all the new black media. All right. To all the new black media out there, whichever ones y'all listen to, man. You got Vicky Dillard, you got Fly Nubian Queen channel, you got Boyce Watkins, the familiar ones you're familiar with, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, Professor Black Truth. Shout out to my man Tony Delarmy with TD Hip Hop Media. He's Haitian, but he knows what's up. And we're going to get into that in a little bit, but he knows what time it is, man. So shout out to him. You got Urban X podcast and a whole host of other Black people out here really getting their stuff together. And we're gonna throw Roland Martin out on the bus. He's whack. All those old Black media. We are the new Black media. So shout out to all those podcasts and the ones I didn't mention. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds too, man. He's been out for a long time. Sarnetta. So shout out to all of them. Brother Rich, shout out to his channel as well. So there's a lot of Black folks putting out some good content, man. So shout out to them. And yes, we are the new Black media. Okay, so that's where everybody's coming to get the information now. All right, because they're realizing the mainstream folks is not giving the real stuff. And so again, like I said, there's something going on with YouTube. And I think there's a lot of unfair practices going on, you know. And why I say that is because, like I said, I've been hearing a lot of other people speaking about their channels getting suppressed. And sometimes they would tell some things that I guess somebody didn't like. And so either they made YouTube do it, or YouTube didn't like it themselves, and YouTube is probably working with some groups, and they're suppressing people's videos or flagging them for unnecessary nonsense, and they're claiming community guidelines are being violated. Well, I guess it's made its rounds and it's come to me. I mentioned that before to some folks. And so what was happening is that I was posting some episodes of a show I decided I wanted to add on to the Norwood Media Vision channel and the Norwood Media Vision platforms on Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth, Internet Archive, so on, so forth, Daily Motion, so on and so forth, right? And this show is me giving some personal protection tips, self-defense tips. And the intro video shows different people fighting and stuff like that, because it's kind of setting the stage up for, you know, what's going to be said and told. It's called My Vantage Point. And it's just me giving my take on real life videos of fights and stuff like that, or different incidents, real world stuff, and just giving my take on some better things you can do to protect yourself based on these videos, in case people actually run into these real situations. They can get something, you know, get some tips on how to, you know, protect themselves, defend themselves, so on and so forth. And for some reason, YouTube wanted to remove a video. It's funny because I had 3 episodes on there and they removed one of them. I don't understand it. But I also remember a video was removed from another channel of mine, and they were citing some community guidelines again. And they also mentioned that their automation was the culprit of removing it. So they're configuring their automation, their AI, their machines to pick up on whatever they programming it to do, to pick up on certain things, and that machine will automatically flag certain videos. And so I'm wondering if this is being done on purpose, because like I said, the video that, and I'm going to pull that video. I'm just going to pull a little bit of it up just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Whoa, wait a minute. There you go. Let me make sure I'm on here. There you go. So I'm going to pull up just a quick little snip of it, right? Just so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, on this channel, this other channel that I'm talking about, here we go right here. We're going to pull that up. All right. Come on now. So on this particular channel, I had a video that was doing real good. I mean, they got darn near 20,000 views. And it was a video where I was showing how to, if there was parents or people who staff from public schools, or maybe you deal with a group home, or you deal with special needs kids, any type of kids in elementary school, middle school, high school. I was showing different holds that a teacher could do, a staff member could do, a parent can do. Maybe you have a certain special needs child that's might harm themselves. So I was showing some holds that will not only protect the parent or the teacher or the staff member, but it also would protect that particular child, and it won't hurt the child when you put the hold on them. It's just a hold to restrain them and keep them from hurting themselves, hurting other people. And you can put these holds on them until they calm down. All right. And for some reason, that video got flagged. Now, they're so general with their terms. Like, I'm assuming that, okay, they were trying to say that it was too violent, or it was kids and you doing violence to kids. But in this video, you never see them hurt. I actually had them explain, how did it feel when I put the hold on them? Did it hurt a little bit? Did it hurt a lot? But when you see me putting the holds on them, if it really hurt a lot, you would already see on the video, and then it would be obvious. So they might have said, well, yeah, it might hurt a little bit, or it just was a lot of pressure, but it wasn't no pain involved. So to show everybody else, like, hey, look, you can do these holds. It doesn't put too much strain of damage to the child at all. And so people can, try to use that as practice, to help them keep the child, whatever situation they have this interaction with the child. It was just mainly because I recall going to different schools and seeing these little kids get crazy with the teachers and stuff like that. And I actually had to do one of the holds on one of the kids to calm them down, to keep them from picking up a desk to throw it at a teacher, to keep them from hurting themselves. So I just put it on them. They calmed down. I let go. But they were never in pain at all. And so I thought, man, let me make a video about that. So other parents, other teachers, and people who deal with kids, whatever situation that might be, legally, not nothing crazy, not no kidnapping type nonsense. But my mindset, I was in the good mindset, like in the right frame of mind, like, yo, let me show them how to do this stuff. And for some reason, make a long story short and the short story shorter, that video got flagged. So what I did is I did another clip. I put it to where people still can see it, and in another place they can go see it at if they wanted to look at it. All right. So now I had these videos that I wanted to do. I said, well, let me look at some real world videos, and let me do some commentating on it, because I seen some other people. I've seen a few other channels of people doing it, but they weren't doing it from the perspective that I was thinking of doing it from. All right. And so I said, well, yeah, let me do the same thing. I could give it, my perspective from the way I know how to do it. And I think people will enjoy it. People will learn something from it. That was the main thing, that people learn something from it. So it's called My Vantage Point. All right. So I'm telling you things. I'm showing the video, and then I'm giving you some tips, some options, some strategies from my vantage point, right? And so I'm going to show you a little quick clip of that. And for some reason, they wanted to remove it. All right. So I'm just going to play some of the intro here. All right. This is some of the intro I'm going to play right here. And I don't know if it was because of the intro or because the video period. Now, the first episode was involving the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I don't know. I don't even know if that was the one they removed. I can't remember because I went on and deleted everything. But I still have the videos. I could put it right back up. And I'm probably going to put it back up. So YouTube, I'm going to point out some things in this podcast, and then I'm going to put it back up and see if you have a change of heart. All right. So let me just play this real quick. Here's the intro of the show. So I don't know if they're looking at this and saying like that's too much or whatever. I don't know. All right. So that's all I'm going to play right there. So I don't know if it was the intro they had an issue with or the content of the videos, but these videos were on YouTube. And so they cited it violates community guidelines, right? Well, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. You don't want to talk community guidelines, YouTube. All right. So I went on, here we go. We on the screen here. So I went to community guidelines, right? To see the overview of it. All right. So it says our community guidelines are designed to ensure our community stays protected. Protected from what? What are you protecting from? Protecting the community from. All right. That's what I say first of all. Now, if you're talking about little kids and maybe their minds, well, you already have things in place to take care of that, right? Because you can, as a lot of you might know, with YouTube, you can fix it to where you don't allow young kids to see it. You click a little box, say it's no. And then the other box, you can say it can just be 18 and above, something to that effect. So they're legally adults, right? And so I said, well, I'm just going to click on those boxes so it don't have to be for small kids if they might get traumatized from all the violence. Although I'm sure these kids see violence on TV all the time, but YouTube wants to protect. I don't know who they're protecting and why, but it says our community guidelines are designed to ensure our community stays protected. They set out what's allowed and not allowed on YouTube and apply to all types of content on our platform, including videos, comments, links, and thumbnails. You'll find the full list of community guidelines below. All right. Let me see something here. So I went down here to violent or graphic content, right? I think I went on that and clicked on it. So let me pull that up because it doesn't switch over on here. So I went to there, right? Let me see here. There we go. Or better yet, this is what I did. I didn't even look at because now that I'm looking at this page, you guys can't see it right now, but I'm looking at it right now. So what is being showed, I'm going to pull that up for you guys, by the way. All right. Let me see if I can get that pulled up so you can see what I'm seeing. So we keep it all the way 100, keep it all the way 1,000. So this is the first time I'm actually doing this. So what I actually did was just scroll down and I seen violent content. I was like, oh, they're trying to say my video. Maybe they're trying to say my video have violent content. But now that I just clicked on that violent content link, this is what shows up. So I see that there's a bat and someone with a ball bat, somebody with a knife. For curiosity purposes, let me look at play a little bit of this.
True or false? Footage, audio, or imagery featuring natural disaster aftermath or medical procedures are never allowed on YouTube. The answer is false. If enough context is provided along with violent or gory content, we may apply an age restriction rather than remove the video completely. However, violent or...
All right, hopefully y'all heard that. Let me, because I don't know if I put the audio. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do that again. Hold on. Let me go back and give the audio. Now, somebody's playing games. So let's go back to that. Let me play that again, right? So now you'll be able to hear the audio. Okay.
True or false? Footage, audio, or imagery featuring natural disaster aftermath or medical procedures are never allowed on YouTube. The answer is false. If enough context is provided along with violent or gory content, we may apply an age restriction rather than remove the video completely.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it. I'll stop it right there. Now, they said if enough context is in the video, they might just put an age restriction on the video, right? But they already have systems in place where you can click on the age restrictions. So why would they put an age restriction on your own age restriction, right? Why would they do that? So again, like I said, let's get them out of there. So if they're letting their machines do all this removing, then you have a flaw with your machinery or your artificial intelligence doing the work. And you're not having enough humans in there paying attention to the video and going, oh, wait a minute. This is all he's doing. He's trying to show you this. He's trying to show you that. I think, isn't it a good thing when you try to show somebody how to protect themselves or give them some tips? Right? You would think so, right? That's what I would think. That's why I was doing the show. Right? Okay. So I figured maybe it's what the machine. I doubt if it was a real human because there was a machine issue before with one of my other videos. They said the machine picked it up. And because we was in this COVID situation, I guess they let their machines go to work and take care of what the humans would normally do, look at videos and see if it was, something real damaging, right? So again, just real quick to say the video shows was about to show, it was showing real life videos of fights or whatever. And I was giving my take on what people could do to protect themselves. Isn't that a good thing? So that's context to it, right? You would think so. That's a good thing. You would think, right? And so I just took it as, okay, they're trying to say it's a violent video. But let me pull something up here. Let me see if I can find them. So they wanted to remove that, right? Remember this. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So they wanted to remove my video and they wanted to, but yet this video is being played with no restrictions, no age restrictions, I'm pretty sure, but maybe the guy's putting his own restrictions on it. So YouTube, I know you're watching, you're paying attention. I'm sure you are. Why is it that you remove my video off your channel? I'm going to put it back up because this is going to be the argument to that. And I scheduled it to play for 2021 anyway. But you or your machines or however you want to say it, because I'm saying you as if YouTube's a person, but the staff, you know what I'm talking about, YouTube. You remove my videos for whatever unknown reason, and it's given context because I even say in the videos what the show is about. But then if you look at the video long enough, you see that I'm not promoting something bad. I'm trying to give you something good out of a bad situation, right? So you remove my video and the kid video that I was showing people how to not hurt a child, but put them in a hole that will protect them from damaging themselves and damaging others, hurting other kids or other adults. Because some of these adults act super scared of 5-year-old kids and 7-year-old kids. It's ridiculous. I don't even understand that. These little bitty kids, these grown big old adults, overweigh them by hundreds of pounds, some of them, and they're super scared of these little kids. It's crazy. You don't need to be working in no school if you're scared of some little bitty kids, if you don't know how to handle their physical fighting or whatever, or you need to learn. That's why I created the video. So YouTube, you would move my video, but you allow this guy to do his videos. All right, YouTube, I hope you're paying attention to this. I don't want my videos removed anymore. If you're going to remove mine, you need to remove this dude's videos. You need to give him a whole bunch of problems in hell too, and remove his videos as well. Because look what he has in his videos.
This just in, armed robbers do not like armed patrons. Thanks for joining us for today. Bolster draw analysis is going to come in from the right. This guy coming in from the left. But watch, the robber's going to come in from the right. This guy coming in from the left is a security guard. He's going to see the robber come in and start pointing a gun at people, get his own gun out, take one shot at the guy who misses him and goes up and high left. You can see it here from the other angle. He is actually going to get a shot. It's going to miss our bad guy, who turns around and takes a shot in the direction of an innocent bystander. Thankfully, it did not hit that innocent bystander, who is then going to look around, and obviously, thank God that he didn't get hit by that bullet. Now we're going to see our defender here start to get the heck out of got that guy good, didn't he?
All right, so YouTube, you remove my videos when I do something similar to what this guy does. And I do it from a perspective that he can't do it from. Because I actually worked at a certain place where I can get my perspective differently. So YouTube wanted to remove my video, but he lets this guy do his videos, and he does the same thing that I do or similar things. But he's doing it from a perspective. We're doing it from two different perspectives. All right. I have a certain set of experiences that this guy does not have. I've worked at certain places that this guy has not. So I can give a unique perspective on the same thing. But YouTube allowed this guy to play, to do his thing. And my shows are similar. We have some similarities on what we do as far as show content and teaching things, how to protect yourself. So how is it, YouTube, that this guy can have his shows popping because he's doing ads or whatever? I don't know. I guess I do know he's doing that because it says at the beginning of some of his episodes, or all of them, who knows. But you will remove mines, but this guy's free to do whatever. He's showing violent stuff in his video too. And then he's giving his commentary on what was good that was done, what was bad. And like I said, I have a show that I do something similar, but other than not only just saying what somebody did good or bad, I'm actually demonstrating some things that could be done as well. Like I said, I've watched some of his stuff and I know certain things about him, and he can't do it from a perspective that I can do it from. I'm just going to say it like that. All right. But he's allowed to do what he wants to do. All right, YouTube. So when I challenge the next time, I'm going to bring up this. And if you're not going to age restrict mine, if you're not going to age restrict his, don't age restrict mine. Let me just put on the click on the box that of course no kids can watch. And I do that anyway. And then of course only a certain age group of kids, which is what is considered the legal adult age for America, right? I think it's 18, right? So those who are 18 and above can watch it. And then the parents, if their parents want their kids to watch, the younger kids to watch it, then it's up to them. But you don't know that some of these little kids actually have their own channels and they can just sign in anyway and watch it. Or you don't know if they're adults or not anyway. So YouTube, I'm going to put my videos back up again on Norwood Media Vision because I wanted to add a new show to the mix, a little something different from the shows I have. And I also want to show people how to protect themselves like this guy does. And like I said, I can do it from a certain perspective that he can't. Because he hasn't worked in a certain capacity that I've worked at. He may have some knowledges I have. We might both have similar knowledges on certain things, and maybe certain things neither one he might have that I don't, or vice versa. I might have something he don't, or know something he doesn't. So that's why I was saying is YouTube picking and choosing whose channels they want to flag, or are they setting up their automations to purposely flag certain people and not flag other people, right? So I wonder if that's what's going on, YouTube. And by the way, folks, did y'all know that it has been said that Facebook is able to see you guys through your phone? I don't know if they're doing it now because they being investigated. But did y'all know that they were saying that YouTube was able to see people through the little camera right there? I don't know if that testifying that situation in court where it was Amazon, Facebook, and Apple and those guys, those people, CEOs involved in that testifying. I don't know if that has something to do with it or this is a separate case, but they were saying that Facebook has been able to see you through your cameras. So I thought I'd just put that out there for you to be aware of. So if you're out there with your honeys and you doing your thing, you're doing your thing, or if you go into the bathroom and you're talking to somebody on the phone, you might not want to bring the phone with you. You think you want to bring your phone with you to the bathroom so you can hear the phone ring and you want to jump in the shower, you might not want to do that because even though supposedly there was either are under investigation or it just passed or whatever, they're saying that supposedly Facebook is able to see you through your phone camera simply because you have the app on your phone somehow, some way. So I suggest you be a little bit aware, a little bit more aware of what you're doing with your phone, where you're at. If you don't want to be caught naked, let's just be real upfront and blunt. If you out going to the bathroom or you in the bed with your honey or you taking that shower, you might want to leave your phone somewhere else until you're done. All right. Now, I don't know about the audio part. I'm sure if they're going to see you with the video, they're going to see you with the audio. And I hopefully Facebook, you don't flag this either and start messing with me on my videos here. We're going to get y'all all straight. Everybody's going to be fair across the board, or Not fair at all. Or you're going to let things slide. That's some petty stuff and stick to some real stuff, Facebook and YouTube. Although I don't think, Facebook ain't been messing with me, but some other people said they've been flagging, putting them in Facebook jail before and not letting them post or anything for a week and so on and so forth. So y'all need to stop being dirty. Just as simple as that. All right. So y'all guys might want to pay attention to that, man. Don't bring your phones with you in certain places, because you might get caught in a compromised position. And the next thing you know, whatever Facebook's seeing you is picking up, and who knows if they're able to snap shots too. And then you be on the internet mysteriously butt naked, wondering how it got there. And you trying to break your brain trying to figure out how that happened. You think somebody else was doing it that day, but it was really Facebook just catching you out there, right? So be mindful of that. So I just wanted to point that out about YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and put my video back up sometime later on. All right. And hopefully, like the video I played earlier, you will pay attention, or you will put your machines to pay attention to a little bit more context to the video. Just like you allowed Active Self-Protection's channel to put violent stuff on there, and he's giving you context. He's showing people the good stuff that the protector did, or the bad stuff that the criminal did, or whatever. I'm doing the same thing, but from a kind of different perspective, a unique outlook, or a unique way of doing it. A little bit different from his. So it's no different in the sense that we are showing real world situations and then giving our take on it. And with the whole goal, I don't know about him, but I'm assuming his goal is the same, is to show people, look, this is how you can protect yourself from situations like this. Here's some tips or some advice, some options that you can apply if you find yourself in these situations. So, and his wasn't age restricted. You can just go on the channel, click the video, and it doesn't tell you age restricted on the screen. But it's kind of funny how you pick and choose who you want to do this to. All right. YouTube. So now maybe I made my point. And hopefully you pick it up and won't give me any more problems. I'm doing this to show people how to protect themselves. All right. Not trying to promote that as a thing and laugh at it. Look, person got killed or she got beat up. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. All right. What's next here?
Do you know what you're listening to? You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.
Oh, how's that?
All right, so your girl, once again, fumbling the ball. Right? Fumbling the ball. Everybody wants to get Trump out, right? Y'all want to get Trump out. But your girl still keeps on showing what she's about. But this is who y'all want to replace Trump and Pence with. Your homegirl, right? We're going to play a little bit of this right here. Okay. Some of you might have seen it. Some of you may have not seen it. All right. Now, some of y'all might have seen the Breakfast Club interview some time ago, right? I think Kamala Harris is on the Breakfast Club like 3 different times, right? And then I think she mentioned Tupac on one of the Breakfast Club interviews. And then a lot of people were saying something, that was kind of suspect because Tupac and Snoop didn't come out while Kamala was in college, right? And so she's back at it again, man. And this is who y'all talking about putting in office, right? This is who y'all talking about putting in office. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this, and y'all just listen in. I'll give my commentary on it here in a few minutes. All right.
A roast chicken. It's kind of my go-to. And then
Real quick, pay attention to Kamala's body language when these questions get asked. And then watch how Angela Rye kind of tries to fill in the blanks to try to make her look good through all her fumbles. Right? Which kind of lets you know what Angela Rye is about too. A lot of people have been speaking about her too. Let's look in. Let's watch.
best rapper alive. Tupac. He's not. You said he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep just.
You said. Listen, West Coast best rapper alive. Tupac. He's not. You said he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep just.
You said. Listen, West Coast girls think Tupac lives on. I'm with you. I'm with you. So Tupac, keep going. Best rapper alive. Tupac. He's not. You said.
The best rapper alive. And she says Tupac. And then Kiki. And then Angela Rye tries to help her out. She want them biscuits. She want them hot and warm butter biscuits. So Angela Rye's trying to help her out. The best rapper alive. And she says Tupac. But this is who y'all voting for, right? This is who y'all want in office, right? All right, let's listen to a little bit more.
And then best rapper alive. Tupac. He's not. You said he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep just.
You said. Listen, West Coast girls think Tupac lives on. I'm with you. I'm with you. So Tupac, keep going.
Keep doing that. Who would I say? I mean, there's so many. I mean,
She don't know many.
There are some that I would not mention right now because they should stay in their lane. But others,
Really, she don't know.
What that means? I want to know who one of those are.
Keep moving.
Okay,
Keep moving, Angela.
But this is their attempt to try to make her appear to be the show like she's down, she's black, right? That's their attempt. Right? Angela Rye's trying to help her show her so-called black side. And she had to say, oh, let's move on from that one because she can't figure out, she don't know no one to say. They trying to make it seem like she's hip hop, she rap, and she's a fly and all this and that, right?
know what that means. I want to know who one of those are.
Keep moving.
Okay,
Keep moving, Angela.
All right. That was not supposed to be a stumper either. What about okay, AK was founded when and where?
In 1908 at Howard University.
Another plug for Howard. Okay, person who you would fangirl over the most if you met them right now.
Oh, Angela, why are you doing this to me? The person I would fangirl the most. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, Beyonce. And then what about the last person you called?
Beyonce, she said. Fangirl, she would.
Okay, Beyonce. And then what about the last person you called? Another plug for Howard. Okay, person who you would fangirl over the most if you met them right now.
Oh, Angela, why are you doing this to me? The person I would fangirl the most. I don't know, Beyonce.
Okay, Beyonce. And then what about the last person you called? Who's the last person?
Did y'all pay attention to her body language? Did you pay attention to her body language? She says Beyonce, but she shakes her head in the no, like saying no, not really. Did you see that? Beyonce. Let's look at it again.
I don't know, Beyonce.
Okay, Beyonce.
Beyonce. They trying to make her seem so black, but as if that's the only thing black about black people. Beyonce and Tupac and all this other garbage. There's so much stuff more to us. But she's supposed to be black, and so she's supposed to know all these things, right? Let's listen to some more. I've heard only some of this stuff, so I'm looking at some of this or most of this for the first time. I only heard clips like I didn't even know about the Beyonce part. I knew about the Tupac part, and then the Breonna Taylor. I'm trying to see if that's going to come up, or I need to scroll down the video and find that particular piece. But I also heard about the Breonna Taylor part as well. She really fumbled on that too. But this is the one that's supposed to be a black woman, and she's for the sisters, and she was in a picture with a black lady saying that this is like my second mom. They playing psychological games with you black folks and to get you to vote for her and Biden, right? But this is who y'all voting for. This is who y'all want in place of Trump. Then when they get in place and you find out, oh, snap, what all these other people was telling us, they was right about it. Then who you going to blame then? You going to say the people who didn't vote for them was the poor people at fault? Let's say they do win. Because some of y'all who don't know, I posted a post. I forgot the dude's name, Alan something. I have to look it back up. But apparently this guy's been using a formula when he met one of the top guys who would kind of map out when the next earthquakes would come. So they came up with a formula that kind of uses some of that frame of mind or mindset of predicting earthquakes. They doing it certain formula similar to predicting the presidents. And this guy was been predicting who will be president since the 80s. And so far he's been correct every time. So he's predicting that Biden will win, which Biden bringing on Kamala, right? And so he's predicting that Biden will win. So let's just say and play with that a little bit and say they do win. right? And they're saying Biden's up in age, and people don't know how long he will hold up. And so if something did happen to him, then this is who's going to be in the president's spot, Kamala. And so they're trying their best to prop her up so bad to make her try to prop her up like she's so black. Everybody, including myself, saying she not black. She don't care about the black folks. They already been talking about doing things for Indian folks, like from the East Indians, if I'm not mistaken. And then Biden's, of course, talking, if I'm not mistaken, with the reparations situation, he's trying to bring in the Indians. I don't know if that means American Indians or the Indians from India. So this is who, if something happens to Biden, this is who's going to be in charge. And you seeing what's happening in this video, right?
Okay. And then what about the last person you called? Who's the last person you called?
The last person I called on the phone was my assistant to ask him, am I running on time or not?
I hear that. Okay, the last.
And so she asking these garbage questions, you know what I'm saying?
Thing I want to tell you is, did you know, this is my last rapid round, did you know that Mina just made gumbo and made the base, the roux, with chickpea flour?
Oh, goodness, I did not know that.
I
did not do that. You need to do that, though. See, there are certain things you just don't need to change. And just flour is how you make a roux. You don't need to do chickpea flour, right? Just good old purpose, flour.
I know, but I told her, I said, I know what I'm going to say. Since you won't give me anything, I'm telling on you. So I had to do that. Okay. So now, today was a very significant day for you all. Switching gears. You've already gone to see Ruth Bader Ginsburg lying in state at the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want us to center for a minute about the importance of this moment, what the Supreme Court means, and why it's so important for all of us, not just to know who RBG was. As I sit here with one of these is Harriet and one of these is RBG.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward this. I ain't got time for all that. I want to try to get to the I think the Breonna question was mentioned in here too.
Company Inspired,
that's how I started today. Good Marshall. And casket laying in state. She is the first woman ever.
Yeah.
And she was, she was a petite woman. Mythology that Thurgood along. I looked at her casket and
his nominee. You just, of course, mentioned Constance Baker Motley. Now, you did in your acceptance speech as well for the vice presidency. Who do you think? Because we also know that Vice President Biden has committed to nominating a Black woman to the Supreme Court. When you think of some of the women who have inspired you, some may be your peers. Some of us thought you would be a great Supreme Court justice. Well, we want you to have all the jobs, apparently. But what are you thinking about? Who would be some great women, Black women that could serve in that role? To the extent
there are so many. I'm not going to name any names that Joe Biden will create his list at the appropriate time. But there are many names of women I have worked with over the years who each have been trailblazers. And the thing that I know about Black women, whatever we do, but in particular in the profession of law, because so many have been the first, is that
now you notice she's bringing up the Black women. That's something to keep mindful and be mindful about. All right, just something to be mindful about what she's doing with that. So far, there's been no black men mentioned in any of, from what I heard so far, right? Just keep that in mind, okay? Let me try to find the clip that I was talking about.
When you are looking at all in the fight for, I think that people that you are alone, and as I'm, and therefore that you are alone, slice of that pie and occupying every shoes of
The loss of Breonna Taylor.
There we go.
It's almost 2 pandemics, and we know another one.
And so many others.
I love that.
All right, here we go.
Too, again, as the chairman talked about, we're in the middle of so many pandemics, and we know another.
Again, some of y'all might have seen this already, some of you not. You might have seen it on other podcasts from other new black media podcasts, but I'm going to play it again as well. Like I said, I haven't seen the whole thing. I just heard a little bit of it or seen a little bit of it. So I'm kind of seeing this myself. So I'm showing y'all and watching it with y'all as well. So pay attention to the questions, pay attention to her answers, how she responds, body language, all of that. All right. Pay attention to it all. Because it seems like certain things you just should be able to answer with no problem. But listen to how she answers to them.
One, after mourning the loss of Breonna Taylor for over 100 days, almost 200 days, now just wondering how you felt, because so often you're asked to respond without. How did you feel as a Black woman hearing about the charges in the Breonna Taylor case, or the lack thereof?
It was a gut punch in many ways. I have been in conversations with her mother, Tamika.
Just real quick, you see Angela's trying to give you that facial expression like, but you see Kamala's is not really like that. Like she don't feel much about it, but Angela is trying to get her face, you see the creases in her head and, oh yeah, but Kamala doesn't give you the same expression, right?
Palmer for months now, and the first conversation that I had with her when she talked about her daughter and therefore the life that has now been lost. Breonna Taylor was a caregiver in her spirit and her nature. She cared for her grandmother. She cared for her family. She cared for her community. She cared for society. She cared for people she had never met, which is why she wanted to be, as her life dream, a nurse, but decided to first become an EMT so she could respond to the call on the street, so that she would understand what was happening in the streets, on the ground, and be able to respond immediately.
It seems like you need to be in the streets more so you know what's going on in the streets. Kamala, why not take the same approach?
That's why she became an EMT with a life's purpose and dream of becoming a nurse. And she was beautiful inside and out in every way. And it is tragic. And I have been saying from the beginning that her life deserves to be valued and to be honored. And she and her family and the rest of the community deserve justice. They deserve justice then, they deserve justice today, and they deserve justice tomorrow. And it's now become cliche, but it just remains true. I will not stop speaking her name.
And speaking of speaking her name, the Attorney General in the state, Daniel Cameron, did just that at the RNC. He spoke her name, and then there are these charges for bullets shot into the home of her white neighbor, but not bullets that killed Breonna Taylor. Given the fact that you were a prosecutor, would you have pressed charges against the 3 officers involved in the case?
Well, I don't.
All right, this is the part that I heard a little bit of. And again, this is who you want in place. Of Trump. And I'm not saying that I want Trump or anything like that. But you're going to go from one situation to this situation, right? And all y'all feeling like, oh, well, we'll just have to deal with her and Biden. So this is how y'all going to get down, right? Okay. Now listen to the question again and pay attention to the answer.
Given the fact that you were a prosecutor, would you have pressed charges against the 3 officers involved in the case?
Well, I don't know all the details of the case, but I will say this, that there needs to be transparency about what happened, and that family and that community deserve justice.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line.
So speaking of justice, I know that you attended at least one that I know of, one where you were caught, a BLM protest, kind of incognito, and you went to just stand in solidarity. How does that compare, right, to the way Donald Trump talks about Black Lives Matter as a terrorist organization? What do you say back to maybe some of his supporters and folks who are confused about what BLM actually stands for and what it means, especially with given the fact that Patrice and Opal and Alicia were on the front page or the cover of Time magazine as 100 women or 100 people now are changing the world.
Well, and good for Time magazine for.
Don't it look like she's trying to look at some notes to answer those questions? Like these are already prepared, so she got to keep looking down and not speak from the heart, from the knowledge, and then from the heart of what she's supposedly she was in this protest or whatever that Angela Rye mentioned. What's so hard about speaking from what you've seen and speaking from the heart and speaking from whatever knowledge you gain from being in the protest? It always look like she's looking down at some notes or something like that. You know, notes are good sometimes, but when do you kind of speak from the heart as well? Take a little bit from the notes and then add your own thing to it as well.
For doing that, because they have, and the brilliance and the impact of Black Lives Matter and their brilliance in conceiving it, history is going to show was an inflection point in the ongoing fight for justice, to your point, and to reform the criminal justice system and America's criminal justice system. I actually believe, as a former prosecutor, that Black Lives Matter has been the most significant agent for change within the criminal justice system, because it has been a counter force to the force within the system that is so grounded in status quo and in its own traditions, many of which have been harmful and have been discriminatory in the way that they've been enforced. So being there, being at the protest, I mean, I grew up in protests. My parents were active in the civil rights movement, as you know, so it's nothing new. I've been in marches since I was in a stroller. When I was at Howard University, I was protesting against apartheid. I mean, it's nothing new for me. But being there at this point in terms of, honoring the life of George Floyd and Breonna and Ahmaud Arbery, and, we can go down the list, sadly, a long list. It is about, I think, a community and the country speaking out, understanding that nothing that we have achieved that has been about progress in this country has come without rights or mark of a real democracy. But speak loudly.
You mentioned the name of George Floyd, and of course, you led the charge with Senator Booker and the Congressional Black Caucus on the House side for the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Is that a bill, Senator Harris, that you would urge Vice President Biden to sign into law in his first 30 days, for example, as president?
So the Justice in Policing Act, and yes, Cory Booker, my brother in the Senate, we led it on the Senate side, but then got a lot of senators to sign on to it. In the House side, our fellow members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and brought together a bipartisan group to support it. And it does a number of things which Joe Biden has, without any hesitation, said that he will do in our administration. Including banning chokeholds and carotid holds. Let's be clear, George Floyd would be alive today if those carotid and chokeholds had been banned. Creating a national standard for use of force. Why is that important? Well, because where there have been cases that might be able to go to court where an officer has used excessive force, it is often the case that the standard that's applied makes it difficult to actually prove the case and win the case. Because here's what happens. In many jurisdictions, in the case of excessive force, the question that is asked is, was the use of force reasonable? And as we know, you can reason away just about anything. So what we're saying is no, the fair question to ask is, was that use of force necessary? And so that's about changing the standard. One of the things that Joe Biden feels strongly about is we need to have basically a national center where we are keeping the names and keeping track of police officers who have broken the rules and broken the law. Why? Well, because again, so many of the cases don't go to court because they may not be provable based on the standard, or there's a prosecutor who is unwilling to do it. So, but they will often go through administrative hearing, right? And so it may result in that police officer being fired. But because there's been no court record of it and no established record of it, that officer can move to another jurisdiction and apply to another police department, and that record doesn't follow them. So we're saying there needs to be a central database with this information so we can keep track of these things. We will eliminate the death penalty. We will eliminate private prisons, eliminate cash bail. I've been a leader on that in the United States Senate. Cash
right? It's the lesser of two evils again. It's the same thing we heard in 2016. It's some of Joe Biden's economic justice plan for Black
economic justice issues. So we'll get rid of cash bail as well. So these are some of the things we'll do.
Speaking of economic justice, Donald Trump wrote out today a $500 billion economic justice plan for Black Americans. What I think is important is for people to hear some of your commitments, some of Joe Biden's commitments to Black folks, as people try to say, right? It's the lesser of two evils again. It's the same thing we heard in 2016. How can you just refute that outright? How is this not the lesser of two evils after 200,000 and counting people have died from coronavirus in this country at the hands of this irresponsible president? That's not NAACP's words, those are mine. But I do want to point that out. When you talk about what's happened with COVID and the response that you all would have, when you talk about his $500 billion plan and the response that you all would have specifically to Black people, thinking about Alicia's Black to the Future Black Agenda 2020, thinking about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. Some people are saying, in order to turn out Senator Harris, I need to know what you're going to do for me. What do I get in return for my vote? How do you respond to that?
That's absolutely right. And people have a right to have their vote earned. Nobody should be saying to anybody, and especially to our folks, that you're supposed to vote for us. That's insulting. We need to earn the vote. And so let's talk about the economic piece.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to even go into the fact that, by the way, Donald Trump chooses to say Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And Joe Biden has said it. But let's put that aside. In terms of the proactive, right, earning the vote. One of the things that is very important to Joe Biden, and certainly to all of us, is that we understand, when you talk about criminal justice, we've got to reimagine public safety and how we achieve it. And here's what I mean. If you go into any upper middle class neighborhood in America, you will not see the kind of police presence you see in other neighborhoods. But what you will see are well-funded public schools. What you will see are high rates.
Okay, that sounds like a bunch of crap. She mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, the economics. And what did she just go into? We're not talking about schooling. Let's go back real quick. I'll make sure I'm catching this right.
Police presence you see in other neighborhoods. But what you will see, and here's what I mean. If you go into any upper middle class neighborhood in America, you will not see the kind of police presence you see in other neighborhoods. But what you will see are well-funded public schools. What you will see are high rates of home ownership. What you will see are small businesses that have access to capital. What you will see are communities that can get health care and afford it, including mental health care.
So far, I hear nothing about reparations, which a lot of people are saying that's what they want. That's what's needed. No reparations now.
What you will see are people who have jobs that allow them to get through the end of the month without worrying about whether they can feed their children.
Get through the end of the month. Still no reparations. Let's go on.
Healthy communities are safe communities. So it is an outdated way of thinking to think the way you create safe communities is only by putting more police officers on the streets. You want to see safe communities?
I thought she asked her about economics, and she's talking about having police in the communities. Let me go back and make sure I heard the question correctly.
Presence you see in other in terms of the proactive, right, earning the vote. And people have a right to have
specifically to Black people.
Specifically to Black people.
President, that's not NAACP's words; those are mine. But I do want to point that out when you talk about what's happened with COVID and the response that you all would have, when you talk about his $500 billion plan and the response that you all would have specifically to Black people, thinking about Alicia's Black to the Future, Black Agenda 2020, thinking about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. Some people are saying, in order to turn out Senator Harris, I need to know what you're going to do for me. What do I get in return for my vote? How do you respond to that?
That's absolutely right.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, she's referring to Black people specifically. And a little bit earlier, she said specifically Black people. Now, this is her response to specifically Black people.
Right. And people have a right to have their vote earned. Nobody should be saying to anybody, and especially to our folks, that you're supposed to vote for us. That's insulting. We need to earn the vote. And so let's talk about the economic piece.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to even go into the fact that, by the way, Donald Trump refuses to say Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And Joe Biden has said.
She's going to go into the economic piece. And so what? Because Trump didn't say Black Lives Matter. So what? So what? Like if he said Black Lives Matter, it'd be something everybody was going to jump on his bandwagon all of a sudden. So what? Her economic piece, y'all. I mean, her economic piece. Yeah, peace. Yeah.
Said it. But let's put that aside. In terms of the proactive, right, earning the vote. One of the things that is very important to Joe Biden and certainly to all of us is that we understand, you know, when you talk about criminal justice, we've got to reimagine public safety and how we achieve it. And here's what I mean. If you go into any upper middle class neighborhood in America, you will not see the kind of police presence you see in other neighborhoods.
It's supposed to be an economic piece, and she's talking about public safety.
But what you will see are well-funded public schools. What you will see are high rates of home ownership. What you will see are small businesses that have access to capital. What you will see are communities that can get health care and afford it, including mental health care. What you will see are people who have jobs that allow them to get through the end of the month without worrying about whether they can feed their children. Healthy communities are safe communities. So it is an outdated way of thinking to think the way you create safe communities is only by putting more police officers on the streets. You want to see safe communities? Invest in the health and well-being of those communities. So I say all that to say that part of what our plan is about $150 billion going into low interest loans and access to capital with an emphasis on Black-owned and minority-owned businesses. We know that our small businesses are part of the lifeblood of our communities. I was just in Detroit, 7 Mile Road, right? You can go to any city in America and see, you know, usually it's called MLK Way, but you will see all of those businesses and what they are in terms of those leaders being not only business leaders, but civic leaders and community leaders, right? So the infusion of capital and access to capital for our small businesses, knowing, and wherever they are, and I'm joking about MLK Way, you know what I'm saying, right? But that it is, say what?
I said, no, that's real though. Except for
well, yeah,
where I'm from, it's gentrified now, but it's real.
Right. But because we have such great entrepreneurial spirit, and it is not the lack of that, it is the lack of.
All right, man, I'm done listening to her. Y'all can go watch that on your own and and listen to the rest of it. But this is who y'all gonna have. If they win, this is who you're gonna have. Nothing in there was mentioned about reparations at all. She kind of went off on public safety when she said specifically economic peace. I think a lot of the stuff she's saying is just talk, because again, it's to gather Black voters, to make it sound good. You see the attempts. They're trying to make her appear Black, but she's like fumbling and failing a lot. And so, yeah, y'all want to check that out on your own, you can. And where you can listen more intently and pay attention a little bit more and see if she's on the up and up. All right. But I'm going to go ahead with some other things here. I think I got 2 more things to go, kind of in a connection with this. As you've seen with this piece, they were trying to make her, Angela was giving these wiffle ball questions and trying to make her as Black as they can to try to get that Black vote. Our vote must be really important. apparently. But we don't want to give you something and get nothing back in return, only just wordplay and trickery within the words, the sentences, little trickery, switching of what you're saying, making people think something. And they mentioned earlier about maybe she was talking about Biden. I'll skip that. But anyway, let me go to the very next thing here. All right. Kind of on the same wavelength here. All right. Let me pull this up. Some of y'all might have heard about this. All right. And again, this is all of this is under the Fair Use Act. So if YouTube or anybody has issues, this is under the Fair Use Act. The Fair Use Act comment section is in the description for them and anybody else to read. All right. They're trying their best to get the black male vote. Have y'all heard about this website? GetYourBootyToThePoll.com. Have y'all heard about that? And have y'all seen the video? This video here. I'm going to play the video because others have played the video on their channel, and I seen they didn't get any flags. And because for some reason it's dealing with the election coming up, it hadn't been removed. Get it, official PSA. How many of y'all seen the video? How many of y'all gone to the website and checked it out? Right? And so what they're trying to do, brothers, black men, is real disrespectful. Number one, super disrespectful, because they're looking at you and me that all we got to do, or they got to do to present, to get our vote is show us some butt, right? That's how you're going to get our vote, right? So that's real disrespectful. So let me show you how real disrespectful the Democrats are. Now, on the surface, it's not going to appear like it was them, but they're trying different tactics to get the black vote. It should be obvious to everybody at this point. So, and then there has been talk about a lot of black men are not considering voting, and then black people in general. But this is how they want to get the black vote. Let's take a look. Black men vote, black male vote.
Get your booty to the pole, 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 yeah.
Did we get your attention? Good.
So, you're really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it.
A district attorney decides who to prosecute,
Including whether or not to go after dirty cops.
Do you know who elects the DA?
We do, but you don't want to vote.
Can't make it rain if you locked up on some bullshit.
You can't make it rain if you locked up on some BS. That little statement right there is to tell you a whole lot about this whole thing, this particular whole thing. They trying to get you black men. Oh, if you let's show them some booty, and hey, you can't make it rain. You can't give us none of them dollars if you locked up on some BS. Like, that's supposed to entice some black man to vote. And that's how you talking down. That's supposed to get black males vote. Really? It's like the Democrats be on some all-time low-ish to try to, gain some votes. But you got to look at these tactics and strategies, what they're doing, right? Let's finish it up.
Can't make it rain if you locked up on some bullshit.
Want trades and coding taught in our schools? Then vote for the school boards that will prepare us for the job market.
Want to end cash bail? Well, then vote for the sheriffs and county officials that feel the same way you do.
But you talking about, they gonna pick who they gonna pick, shawty.
Ferguson just elected their first black mayor.
You know how that happened? It's clear Black lives don't matter to some of our current elected officials. If they matter to you, then don't let other people decide who's going to run your community.
Get your booty to the poll.
Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll.
Get your vote, yeah, vote, stretch.
For information on how and where to vote, as well as resources to find out who's running where you live, go to getyourbootytothepoll.com.
To the poll, get your booty to the poll, get your booty to the poll, get your booty.
Real disrespectful. Super disrespectful. So this is what they think of you guys, black men. This is how they think about you. This is what they think about you. Yo, if we put some black women's booties on the screen, they see that. Yo, you get their vote, man. You get some votes then. If you show them that and make them think that's what they're going to get for their vote, they're going to vote for you. So that's what the Democrats think of you fellas, black men. You want to vote, you can get your booty to the poll, right? This is real disrespectful, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. They stoop that low. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But YouTube allowed that video up. They didn't put an age restriction on it, right? Why? I wonder why they didn't do that. It's kind of odd. That's okay. But a video that I try to put up, I'm going to put them back up on YouTube. That's trying to teach people how to protect themselves. For some reason, that gets removed. So I'm going to put them back up whenever I decide to put them back up. And then if I get any issues with it, I'm going to dispute YouTube and cite other channels or a particular channel in particular, but I can sure I'll find others where a guy, like I showed y'all a little bit earlier, was doing something very similar. But like I said, I can do it from a certain standpoint that guy can't do it on because he didn't work where I used to work at. So that's why I can give it from a certain standpoint. And so this video didn't get flagged or age restricted. It's cool as long as it's for the election. You just kind of see the connections to all that. That's okay to be put out there. No age restriction on the video. I've seen other people show this under the Fair Use Act, of course. No problem, right? It's like really super disrespectful, man. All right, so lastly, man, I'm gonna show you this video. All right, before I get out of here. Now, before I show it to you, I'm gonna kind of set the stage a little bit. All right. There's always been some talk for a few years or over the years that, and it's kind of back and forth, the black immigrants who would come now from the islands or the continent of Africa, they claim when they would come here, it's the black Americans would say this and say that about them, call them names and blah, 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 blah. They would, it was always been this thing where it was mentioned that apparently if it's not the U.S., when immigrants come to this country, they try to tell them, well, don't hang with those black people. They call them akatas, which either means cotton picker or something to that effect. And there's some other African names. I did a podcast on it a while back. Let me just pull up a few things too to make a point. Let me just pull up a few things real quick here. For some reason, everything wants to move slow now when I'm putting out this info. Oh, I got to check that out. All right, let me see if I can pull this up here. Let me see. So you got, matter of fact, let me just pull up the screen so y'all can see that. Hold on. Real quick. All right. What was I looking for here? All right. Episode podcast 57. And there was another one I did something on as well. It might be podcast 55. Let me just make doubly sure here. So y'all can go back to podcast 55 and podcast 57. I think those are the two. And I want to say it was another one here. Let me make sure. Let me make sure before I get up out of this piece. 55 talked about. May have been 55. 57 I know for sure. Let me see here. Well, I know 69, podcast 69, I was talking about Crump and Lee Merritt. I know for sure on that one. So that might be another one you might want to go back to and check out. Yeah, that might have been those two that I can think of right now. I might have to go back later and look again. All right, so yeah, let's check those out. One of those podcast episodes I spoke on how Godfrey was breaking down, and the real Rick Ross was also talking about how Black Americans pretty much taking everybody, accept everybody, show love to everybody, but as everybody else, including the Black immigrants and non-Black people, are the ones that always be against the Black Americans, right? And then there was also some other talk about some people are not buying this. There was a certain, that was it, I think. That was the certain Black American culture. I think that was it. That was it. I got to find it, though. I'll figure out which podcast it is, and I'll tell you here in a second. But there was also, it might have been 57. It might have been 57. Yeah, the difference between Black. Yeah. Podcast 57, I know is for sure. But it seemed like there was another one that I did some time ago where the real Rick Ross spoke, where I played some footage from them and from him talking about on Vlad TV. And matter of fact, don't y'all go to Vlad TV anymore. We banning him. He gets no more love for obvious reasons. So no more Vlad TV. None of y'all don't subscribe to his channel. Don't watch his videos. If you're putting out a campaign against him. All right. So it might have been 57. So I would check out 55 and 57. But yeah, it was some people are not buying it or getting offended or saying other things about how, and I'm gonna say this, I got love for African folks, Jamaicans, Haitians, but some of the black immigrants act real coonish, and you know that's a fact, and you know who you are. But a lot of them know what's up. They know what's going down in America. They understand there was a different culture when slaves were taken by force and brought over to America, not had the opportunity to decide if they want to travel to America. That's the difference. That's one of the differences. All right. And so there was always a lot of talk about how black immigrants are told a lot of negative stuff about black Americans, whether they come from Africa. Supposedly they're vetted, so they make sure that they kind of coon out when they get here, and they dislike and don't want to connect with black Americans. And they say things like, yeah, black Americans be on drugs, or they sell drugs, or you're going to get a lot of babies from them, a lot of negative stuff towards black Americans, right? And so a lot of them would deny that was true and happening. I remember asking a dude who was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, who was a Nigerian. I asked him the same thing. I said, I can't remember exactly what I asked him, but I said, yo, do they tell you not to hang out with black Americans and that they bad and they don't do this? And he denied. I think I might ask somebody else some years back too, the same thing, they were from Africa. And that person, I don't remember exactly. I know I asked them around that same question, but they was like, no, but you can tell in their body language they were embarrassed about that question in their answering. And so that's been going around, like, these immigrants, whether they come from Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, any countries in Africa, they have this thing where they're either being told by their parents or somebody's kind of prepping them into not wanting to fool or connect with us. And that's also kind of by design, because people understand if you get black Americans here who know the game, the slavery game, they know the tricks, and a lot of the immigrants are getting fooled by a lot of the tricks that we know about already. We know the game, what's going on. So if we tell them the game, and then everybody gets together, that's going to be a powerful force, right? So people understand that. So you got to constantly keep that division going, right? So you're going to keep putting stuff in the black immigrants' head, the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians. And I'm not saying all of them, because a lot of them know what's up. They know what time it is. They get it. But then there's segments of all of them that don't get it. And they being tricked and fooled, and they going along with having like the white supremacist mindset. So I say that to bring this up. Finally, somebody mentions, and it's an African woman. I think she's Nigerian. She kind of breaks it down. Some of y'all might have seen this video. Some of you may have not seen it. All right. But she breaks it down as to what's up. It's not a long clip. I think it's 2 minutes maybe. And so for all the immigrants, black immigrants who are in denial, you have somebody here from Nigeria. For all you Nigerians who say that's not true, and anybody from Africa, from any of the countries in the continent, or anybody on any of the islands, this one's for y'all. All right. And again, I got mad love for all of them. It's y'all have the issue with us. And that's facts. Some of y'all, not everybody. We make that clear.
I wanted to respond to you because I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, But a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family where they will sit you down and tell you, you're going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You start become gang banging. They give you that
I see somebody just came in because I see another view on the screen. So I'm gonna go put it back to the beginning again. If you know anybody who's from Africa or from any of the islands, you might want to tell them, come watch this. She kept it real. She seemed to be honest. There's another girl who's going to speak on it as well. She seems to be, she just kind of want to chime in to make her, to me, the impression I got, she wanted to chime in and say kind of the right stuff, but kind of interject some other stuff in a little bit too, because this lady here seemed like she was keeping it 1,000 and she wanted to be honest about it, where the other one just wanted to make herself look like it. To me, that's my impression that the second one gave. But this lady here seemed like she wanted to keep it a buck with everybody and keep it real. And then, like I said, the other lady said something. The third one just kind of was looking. She didn't. Maybe she said something. If this video is longer or is any longer than what this 2-minute clip is, maybe she chimed in as well. But these two said something. So here we go.
I wanted to respond to him because a lot of, I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family where they will sit you down and tell you, you're going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant.
Delroy Ski, what's up?
You start become gang banging. They give you that talk. I wanted to respond to him because a lot of, I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family where they will sit you down and tell you, you're going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You start become gang banging. They give you that talk that just go to the white community, find a nice place. They just go and be decent. Stay with the white people. They give you that talk. So when you enter America, you already have a perception of African Americans. You judge them. And of course, they can see that judgment in your behavior towards them. And they see how you are almost like, yes, massa, to the Oyimbos. They see, they're not blind. So when they have that feeling of, when they become defensive, when you're in their presence, it's because they see that perception you have of them. So I know I got that talk. And a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like, yeah, so we come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well. Forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to even go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement?
And real quick, if they so good and they so this is for some of y'all, not all of y'all, from the continent or from any of the islands who think y'all better than Black Americans. If y'all are so good and we just murderers and we sell drugs and we just make a lot of babies, like this lady said, she and her parents had that talk, and that a lot of them have that talk that they don't want to admit. If y'all so this and y'all doctors and this and that, why y'all don't be in Africa and being doctors and making your country great? Why y'all always coming over here where the Black Americans are at? You know, again, I got love for y'all. But if y'all so this and y'all that, you're so better than the Black Americans here, why is your country in shambles? Or why don't y'all make your country, if you so fly, why don't you stay where you at and make your place fly? And we'll stay over here and do our thing. I'm just saying. Well, let's listen on. I'm gonna put it back a little bit.
When you're in their presence, it's because they see that perception you have of them. So I know I got that talk. And a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like, yeah, so we come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well. Forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to even go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Okay,
Can I say something?
I wanted to answer you.
She made a very good point that when they come over here, they're forgetting that our ancestors was the ones who built this country and made it available for them to be able to come over here. And that's the part that a lot of the Africans or Jamaicans or Trinidadians or Tobago or Rubens or Haitians, or probably not a lot of Haitians out like that, but there's always some in all groups. Dominicans who some of them look as dark as me, but they won't say they even black. But they all come over here. My ancestors built this country, and they don't acknowledge that fact or understand and made it possible for all of them from their countries to come over here and be the doctors, be the this, be the that. And at least she's keeping it 100 because she said, yo, she even had to talk, and a lot of them have that talk. So appreciate you, man. And so a lot of them have that talk. They just not want to keeping it real. And this lady decided to keep it real for whatever the reason was. Maybe she's one of those that do get it. Like I said, there's a lot of them that get it. But there's a lot of them still cooned out. Right? So let me play a little bit more again. Play it back a little bit. But she got it. And then the other one's going to chime in kind of half and half with her comments. She throws some other little stuff in there. You just got to catch it.
So I know I got that talk. And a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like, yeah, so we come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well. Forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to even go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Okay,
Can I say something?
I wanted to answer you because let's not forget that you cannot give what you don't have. In our society, we are racists. When racism, when we see white people, we worship them. When you have an organization and they come in to either look for a job or they are working there, you see the way your people behave towards them. They don't give their people the same respect that they give to the white person. So people that already have that mindset that the white is better will go and be fighting for somebody else. It's not possible. Charity begins at home. May I quickly land that the only way this can stop, where we believe that everybody is equal, is if we take down that image that is a white man that is God. That's the only way. I am telling you. It's an image that human beings have created. Nobody has seen God. Human beings have created that image, and as long as
Well, there you go. Before I get out of here, I'm going to make a point about what she said. Last thing I'm going to show. Not a video, just some visuals. All right. So she mentioned that, they look at the white man as the God. And so they kind of get it, right? At least them two. That third one, I don't know. She was looking like she kind of had a little offensive. She was feeling a little fenced. Here's what I'm going to show you real quick. The people that they were talking about, right? That's them right there. Not just saying them, I'm just saying like literal sense, but all these women are immigrants that you see in this picture. And some of you might have heard of this dude, this white guy here. His nickname is called the Sperminator. This dude has been going around for who knows how long, just having sex with, I think it's been mainly immigrant women. And I guess, I don't know if they had a show on this dude or something, but there's some videos on this. Y'all can look that up and check it out yourselves. I'm not even going to play all that. I'm just going to kind of scroll down to some of the stuff. But same thing those girls were just talking about. Their show is called Your View. I guess that was their version of The View in Africa. I don't know where in Africa. But all these women here are not American women. They're immigrants. And this white guy, Ari Nagel, spawns 52 kids in new Sperminator web series. All right, 40. And this article's maybe maybe a year or two. I don't know. All right, a year ago, roughly. A little less than a year ago. 44 dude is 44 years old. And he's been having sex, and they want to have sex with him so they can have, I guess, like the anchor baby syndrome, where if you have a baby with somebody from a certain country, then that might be your ticket to enter in, right? See what I'm saying? It might be your ticket to enter in the country, I guess. So this dude's been having sex with apparently a lot of immigrant black women. And so, like the lady said in the video, they kind of worship the white guys. Right? And right here, it says, I have lawyers. This is the dude, the Ari dude. I have lawyers telling me to stop, that I'm putting myself at risk. So the lawyers is telling him he's putting himself at risk. But what risk is he putting up to them other women, though? Right? What risk is he giving to them other women? He having sex with all these women. He don't know what he's getting and what he's giving to somebody else, right? Right? So what that lady was saying, apparently there must be some truth to it, because the evidence right here. And it looks like it's a YouTube video, so you guys can go and check it out. It's the Sperminator episode 3, the Sperminator episode 2. They didn't put 1 in here for whatever reason. Here we go. This 1. But you can go look it up and play it. I might check it out later. I'm not going to bother to play it right now. But let me see what else we got here before I get out of here. New York Post article as well. By the way, y'all want to research that. Check it out. About half the time, he provides his seed the old-fashioned way. Sometimes a lesbian looking to conceive will have her partner in the bed for moral support, while she and Nigel, or however you pronounce his name, Ari, engage in intercourse. So 2 lesbians, the lesbian woman will stand or sit beside the bed while her lesbian partner has sex with this guy, because you got to have a guy that have a baby. They can't make babies on their own. And so she will hold her hand saying, her partner apparently supposedly never had sex with a man before. This only dealt with women. Right? So she's sitting there beside the bed, holding her hand, helping her out. Right? Coaxing her and whatever else. She's never slept with a guy before, so the partner's in bed holding her hand. Ari said, I'm going to say his first name. But now he says he rarely has sex with women anymore. Instead, he will meet them in public places, pleasure himself in a bathroom at, say, a Starbucks or a Target, and hand off the sperm in a menstrual soft cup. Right? In a menstrual soft cup. Let me read on further here. This isn't time consuming and I'm doing it anyway, he told the Post in 2016. The ovulating woman then inserts the flexible cup into her vagina in a public women's bathroom. As Ari says in an episode of The Sperminator, obviously Wi-Fi helps so I can have my porn. And while some people might be weirded out by this unconventional conception, the moms say they don't care. These are the immigrants, black immigrant moms. They don't care. All right. I firmly believe that none of us have a right to judge where someone conceives or by what means. It doesn't matter to me, Mom Tiffany says in a Sperminator episode. She and her partner, Yvonne, spent close to $25,000 at a sperm bank trying to conceive before she finally got pregnant by Ari. Meanwhile, as Ari says, while pointing to a soft cup, it allows her to get pregnant for less than $1. He's met all but 7 of the children he's fathered, and in some cases has become a regular at their birthday parties and school events. He's even been in the delivery room for a handful of births. And as the show reveals, some of the women have become a support system for each other. That's all I'm reading on that. You can check that out as well. All right. So that's it, man. That's it. It's very, a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, man, for checking out the show. Delroy Ski, what's up? Appreciate you checking it out. Thanks for the comments. Be sure, if you are on YouTube, click the thumbs up button. All right, because that's going to work those algorithms and make the videos more viewable and the channel more viewable to folks, so I can get some more subscribers and things like that. All right, appreciate you, man. And same thing with Facebook. Y'all hit them thumbs up or the emojis. Appreciate you. So we can get some more people coming in, and so the channel be a little bit more popular, the folks. All right. And thanks for y'all watching on Periscope. Those who go and watch the replay, I appreciate y'all as well for checking it out. And with that being said, man, I am gone. All right. If you want to support the show or this episode, there's the link right there. Check it out. That being said, thoughts of the week. I'm out. Peace.
Do you know what you're listening to? You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.
Oh, how's that?